I'm going to tell you 10 things that nobody else will tell you about St. Mary's County before you move here. Hey, my name is Rob Schou. I'm a real estate agent down here in Southern Maryland with EXP Realty, and the whole goal of this channel is to help make your move to Southern Maryland so much easier. So if that's something you'll be doing, use the contact information below. Call me, text me, and I'd be happy to help any way that I possibly can. All right, let's just jump right into it. Like I said, I'm going to tell you 10 things that people are probably not telling you about St. Mary's County before you move here. Number one is everything is farther apart than it looks. I've lived here for a while now and I'm used to it, but anytime I go back to places like Annapolis or even DC and things are like a half a mile away, that's kind of shocking to me because here, even to get to a grocery store where I am in Leonardtown, it's a good 7-mile drive, meaning about 12 to 15 minutes to get there. And it doesn't sound like a lot at first, but it just kind of adds up throughout your day. If you're running errands throughout the day and you're adding 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, 20 minutes there, by the end of it, you just ran 3 errands and you spent 3 hours doing it. Now, I will say, because there's not a lot of traffic, the time and the mileages kind of don't vary. So you don't really have to plan around it too much, except for when base is getting out and stuff like that. So I will say the commutes stay true, as in like the times you travel between things stay pretty true. Like you don't have to worry about a half a mile commute turning into a 40-mile drive like you would in DC. But there are big distances between stuff, bigger than you'd actually think. Number two is a lot of people think that because you're living in Leonardtown or you're living in Lexington Park or you're living here, living there, it's all going to be the same. Leonardtown, for example, can mean many different things. If you live in Leonardtown, you could live in Leonard's Grant, which is a really tightly packed neighborhood right outside of downtown. You could be living in downtown, or you could be living on a 20-acre farm on the outskirts of town like I do. So Leonardtown, just because you're in Leonardtown, it doesn't mean that it's going to be all the same type of feeling and type of lifestyle. And I think a lot of people miss that point. Number three, and one that I get from a lot of people that are coming from outside of our area, say from other bases like Jacksonville or other more developed areas, is well and septic are really common here. Most people are on private well and private septic unless you're in a newer neighborhood. And that comes with a host of other things that you have to take care of as a homeowner, but it's all doable and manageable, especially if you keep it on a schedule and you just get professionals in there to make sure everything is taken care of. I just had my septic pumped 2 days ago and it was $400 to do it. And it normally happens every 2 to 5 years, depending on usage. Number four is internet access. Now, this used to be an issue for a while down here in St. Mary's County, but I will say it's become more common that there is reliable internet access everywhere. BreezeLine is our main internet access provider. Verizon Fios is coming into the more populated areas, and honestly, Starlink has really changed the game for a lot of people that are more rural. So if you have a clear view of the sky or you have one of those services to your house, you're going to get internet just fine. Number five is everyone wants to come down here and get waterfront, and I've got to say waterfront is more complicated than a view. Yes, it is worth it if you want to get it, but know what you're getting into. You got to take care of the shoreline, the pier. There might be more insurance, flood insurance, and the taxes are definitely going to be higher compared to other areas in St. Mary's County. With that being said, I think it's one of the best property types though that you can buy in St. Mary's County. And when you're living in a county surrounded by water, why would you not want to live on the water? Number six, and I hear this a lot, especially for younger people, St. Mary's County can feel isolating. Look, you're on a peninsula an hour and a half away from DC, Baltimore, Annapolis, Waldorf, and places that are more populated. And you're in a rural area that doesn't really have many community town centers besides Leonardtown. And it can feel very isolating being down here. So if you're someone that needs to be around people, if you're moving to St. Mary's County, choose to live near Leonardtown. Choose to live as close as you possibly can to areas that have a lot of stuff going on to combat that isolation. Now, you're lucky if you're someone that doesn't like people around. There's plenty of places like that in St. Mary's County too. But if you are someone that needs that human interaction on a daily basis, you love the hustle and bustle of, city life and stuff like that, you're not going to find that in St. Mary's County, but a good choice that gets you closer to it is going to be Leonardtown. Number seven, piggybacks right on the last one of feeling isolated. Social life is going to take effort. between the time that it takes to drive from place to place, a lack of really public transportation, and Ubers and Lyfts not really being a huge thing in the rural areas of St. Mary's County, a social life can be an issue. Now, there's not a shortage of bars and stuff like that to go to. And downtown Leonardtown, you could do like a good pub crawl throughout there. And they have good stuff going on the regular in downtown Leonardtown, but it's not a social life like Jacksonville or Annapolis or DC or Norfolk or places like that. Number 8 is the traffic. Now, I get lots of questions about the traffic in St. Mary's County, and the thing that I would say is it's not bad, but it's also an issue. If you're commuting during times of that normal base traffic time, you're going to have traffic. And even on the weekend too now, it seems like more and more people are on 235 and it can just get backed up. But it's not nearly as bad as DC, Annapolis, and other places like that. But I do think it's going to get worse over the next 10 years. And number 9 is why I think the traffic will get worse over the next 10 years is because the area is still growing. With the base expanding and with people coming here to support the contractors and the base that is, the economic engine of St. Mary's County, we're going to see growth. And with growth is more people, and with more people is more traffic. If you're looking to be in St. Mary's County because you want to be rural, I think the outer edges of St. Mary's County are safe, but I would not look in Lexington Park. I would not look in Leonardtown or California or Hollywood for that rural retreat, because if you do have open land behind you, my guess in the next 10 years, it's probably going to be sold off to developers because they're concentrating that development effort in those areas. And number 10 is, why do people even stay? Now, I hear lots of people that love it here, and I also get lots of comments from people that say it's the worst place and they just want to leave as soon as they possibly can. And I got to say, as someone that's been in St. Mary's County now since I was 20, so almost, 23 years now, I could never leave. It's one of those places that you really can love if you appreciate what is here. Is it going to be Alexandria, Virginia, or Norfolk, or Jacksonville? No, it's not. What it is going to be is a nice place with nice people. If you like being out on the water, it's great for that too. And it has enough. It's not so rural that you're going without. You have a Target, you have a Lowe's, you have Walmart, you have tons of different restaurants, and you do have community. But I can understand why this pace of life and why this lifestyle probably isn't for everyone. Look, hopefully this video is helpful. And if you have any questions or need any help, use the contact information below. Call me, text me, and I'd be happy to help any way that I possibly can. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you on the next one.